Hello, church family. This morning at church, we shared some exciting news about the vision of the church going forwards. And I'm here with Pastor Mark.
Hey, Craig.
And we're just going to unpack a little bit more about that. I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Great.
And then we're going to share it with the rest of the church and hear your heart, hear the vision, and hear the news again for those that haven't heard it yet.
Sure. Great. I look forward to it.
So, Pastor Mark, can you share your heart, your vision behind the decision that we've made, and maybe share a bit more about what that decision actually is?
Well, the great news is, Craig, that our church is growing. And I think everybody is aware each Sunday, if you come here, there's more people, new faces. The foyer's full. The auditorium, sometimes we're struggling to seat everyone. And our kids' church is facing challenges of growth. The car parks, we're asking people to move and park at the college car park, and they're very gracious and are responding to that, which is great. And we're doing everything possibly that we can to make coming to church, coming to MKCC services on Sunday, an enjoyable and meaningful experience. So we're just aware that we need to do something. We need to kind of create more space, try and keep things as comfortable as we can for people, so it is a good experience. And of course, the great challenge to us is that our vision statement motivates us continuously, bringing people to Jesus, equipping them to be fully devoted followers of Christ, motivates us to keep looking to grow, to keep looking to make an impact in our city, and to encourage our church members to bring people along and encounter Christ. So the decision really, we have to just make a shift to accommodate the growth that we believe God is bringing to us.
And it's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's amazing what God is doing amongst the church. And
yes.
We're seeing more, like you say, we're seeing more and more people. So you mentioned on Sunday about this being an answer to prayer. Can you talk a bit about, I've heard you tell stories about you being on your face, lying down in the old church building and stuff like that, and many years ago. Can you talk a bit about like the prayers that you've been praying and how this is an answer to that prayer?
Sure. I mean, going back, it's a long time now, 30 years plus. I remember fondly prayer meetings, not very well attended, maybe 40, 50, 60 people maximum. And we were crying out to God to use our lives to make a difference in our city, to see, our church make an impact across mission. So I fondly look back now to those days of probably many people sincerely praying for God to move. Fast forward that to the present, and sometimes I kind of have to pinch myself to realize where we're at. And you kind of realize that only God brings the growth. It's Him who makes things grow. So it's not about how smart we are, how good we are. And we all bring our gifts to the table, of course, and God's brought our teams together. And we have been able to do some great things. But we're very, very mindful that it's God who gives the growth, the increase. He's bringing people to us. He's entrusting people's lives to us, which we have soaked, I believe, in prayer over many, many years. And even our prayer meetings, even now, and worship evenings, hey, who would have believed that there would be grown to nearly a couple of hundred people coming out, and sometimes more than that. And our kids are worshiping during that period of time and praying. Just an amazing thing. So I think prayer's been very much an important part of our journey, past, present, and I'm sure it will be in the future as we keep looking to God to guide us and help us as we keep moving forward, really.
Great. So without further ado, do you want to tell people what we're actually going to be doing?
Certainly. Well, after much thought and conversations and looking at the space around Christian Centre, we kind of had a talk in the church leadership team and felt it was a unanimous decision, really, that we needed to make some adjustments with Sundays, particularly. Previously, we've looked at our services, and we've run services on a Thursday, on a Sunday evening, and they've not really been what I would call growth engines. They worked for a period of time or peaked, and they didn't quite work. We've thought about Saturdays, but as a church, we're very committed to trying to keep family time, and that's important as well, and give family space and time, and not overload and overburden people. So we come back to Sundays and think, how can we make this work? So we really feel an important shift is to move from 3 services on Sunday to 4, which is challenging and it's exciting, but we feel that by running services for 1 hour with half-hour intervals is the next step, really, of stewarding our facilities. This is a great facility, and we can it's purpose built to do what we do, so we need to max it out. And so we're going to make a shift to 4 services, and those times will be 8:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock, 11:30, and 1 o'clock.
Well done. Remembering those off the top of your head isn't the easiest all the time.
That's right.
So well done. Great. How will moving to these 4 new services help us better serve those who are coming to our church?
We've always loved the thought of providing options for people having services at different times. Early services, later service. I mean, people can have a lie-in and come to a later service. When the weather gets a little bit better, which hopefully it will shortly. Some people like to come in early, have an early service, and have the rest of the day. So I think providing options is just a really great thing to do. And, we want to also, create space so that we can welcome more and more people to come to our services. I think families appreciate our kids' church and all that it brings to help disciple and grow our children, and that's going to be available in all the services as well. It's been a key factor of growing, I think, the church as a whole. So it will be a full-on family experience that we can offer, although it be slightly shorter services, not too much shorter, but slightly shorter. But it gives opportunity for more and more families, really, just to come and connect with us and find community here, and connect to Jesus and grow in God and their knowledge and faith.
So it creates a lot more space for more families, more people.
Yes,
absolutely. That's what we want to do, don't we? We want to bring people to Jesus.
Yeah,
and we need the space to be able to
do it.
To do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple.
Yeah.
And sometimes with change, some people might find that difficult. So what would you say to those people that might be excited but wondering how it might affect them personally?
Yeah, I get it. It's change for everyone, isn't it? Actually, there's not for one certain group, but this is a change of services across the board, so it affects everyone. And I suppose I can only appeal to people to it's going to mean we slightly adjust our routines, which we all get stuck in a little bit of a rut from time to time. And if we're regularly at 9 o'clocker, or 10:45, or whatever currently, but we're all going to have to just make a slight adjustment and change to accommodate what we're sensing and feeling, God is bringing to us. And so, I think we're all in the same bag, really, with that. But I believe it's worth it, and I believe that God will honour the steps that we take together. And I am sure this time next year, most people will be thinking that was a good move.
Great. And with this transition, how will this impact our amazing volunteers who serve us so faithfully each week?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose rightly you use the word amazing, because that's exactly what they are. They're amazing volunteers, and we are so privileged to have so many people step up and serve with us. You know, over 600 people currently are engaged in service and ministry, which
Wow.
again is one of our values. You know, we're saved to serve, and so serving is a natural process, I believe, as we're growing in our discipleship and growing to be more like Christ. We want to serve Him. So, you know, the people that are already serving with us, you know, we're thankful for and grateful for. Some of them may want to step up. They're so excited about, you know, these next steps, and maybe want to serve, do a little bit more. Some people might already, who are serving, may want to slightly change their role. But what all I do know is, you know, that we're all going to need to step up a little bit, and we're all a part of this amazing journey. So, you know, the joy is that our volunteers are really are the people that really help make this whole thing happen. It's a testimony to the glory of God at work, I think, in our church. So it'll mean some changes, of course, as we've said, but I think our guys that are serving with us are just going to be excited alongside us, and will make those adjustments, you know, that are needed to keep serving our church and the wider community.
And with growth, there's that, I guess, that opportunity for more and more people to be able to develop the gifts that God has given them.
Yeah.
There's space for that. There's opportunity. But what would you say to those people that maybe aren't yet serving on a team, or what opportunities are there for them?
Gosh, I think there's loads of opportunities. We need more and more people stepping up. You know, and my encouragement to people, if they're not already, you know, involved in serving with us, is to consider getting involved with us. And there's going to be more opportunity to do that. And this provides an opportunity for people who are not yet serving to get involved, to step up. So I would encourage them to, you know, to jump onto the website. We've got a join a team tag there. People can fill in that, and somebody will connect with them, you know, quickly, to talk to them a little bit more about what that serve could look like on a Sunday. But there's lots to do, and we need more and more people to do it. And as I just said, really, in the other question is, I believe that when we all get involved and serve, when we demonstrate that we are the body of Christ, we are functioning members, and we bring, it's a testimony to the glory of God, really, you know, and you know, we've all got something to give and contribute. And so my encouragement to everyone is to, you know, come on board, get involved, jump in,
Yeah.
get involved with us.
It's good. And for those that want to serve, at mkcc.org.uk/serve
Yes,
is where they should be heading.
absolutely.
Great. You've shared the news, you've shared the service times, you've shared your heart, your vision, or God's vision, God's heart for our church, I guess. What excites you most about this next season for our church?
Yeah, good question, Craig. I think there's two things going on here right now. One is numerical growth, and the other one is the spiritual growth in people making disciples, and you know, and our heart to equip people to become those fully devoted followers of Christ. And I suppose that excites me. I get excited about a church, using its gifts and abilities and talents, and to become a mobilizing body that ministers to itself, but also reaches out into the world, and it becomes a great salt and light testimony to the glory of God, gets involved in the local community. That excites me, to see people growing and maturing, and becoming aware that we're all on mission. Actually, we're all involved. This is not a Pastor Mark thing. It becomes a whole church MKCC thing. And so I get excited about that. I think the future's awesome when I think about that and see people being able to express themselves through gifts and talents and abilities, and part of that, and of course the numerical growth of bringing people to Jesus. People are bringing people to Jesus. We need to keep saying that, not to a church or a pastor or an idea or some ideology or whatever. We're bringing people to Jesus Christ, who we believe is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He's given his life for us all and brought us into his family, his church that he is building. And that excites me because it inspires me, even in the darker moments and the tougher moments, that God's all up to something. He's already doing stuff behind the scenes, and he's moving and working in people's lives, through their lives, and growing his church. It's his promise. He will do it, and he is doing it. And I just get excited about the fact that I'm privileged to get to be a part of it all. And I think all the team here who serve at Christian Centre so faithfully as well, we've all got that. We're all on the same page with that, and we're all so excited about what God's going to do in this next chapter, and that excites me. And when you're a leader and you feel there's a lot of momentum around you with people who are all working together for a common cause rather than dragging people or trying to sell a good idea. That's hard work. I don't think we're there. It's an exciting days for us, and I just want to encourage everybody just to jump in and jump on board. Let's make a difference for Jesus with the one life we've got, and I look forward to what's ahead.
You mentioned that you want to encourage everyone to jump on board.
Yeah.
One of the things that the church family can do is pray.
Yeah.
And to help prepare for this transition.
Yeah.
So is there anything in particular that you think they should be praying for, that you kind of direct their prayers as such?
Yeah, we obviously want to continually pray that we have God's wisdom in everything that we do, in every decision. And I would ask the church to pray for us with that, and to pray about the growth issues, and as we make these changes, that we would get it right, and people who are coming would have a great experience here and encounter love from the people, but obviously meet Jesus, and pray that God continues to cause people to come alive in him. I mean, baptisms, I don't think there's ever been a baptism where I haven't had a dry eye. I get excited about those types of things. So pray that the Holy Spirit continues to move and causes salvation happen. Great to have so many people on Alpha exploring God, and little kids are asking questions. They're hungry about Jesus. Our young people just, the Friday nights is just awesome. It's electrified. They've got over 100 kids every week meeting there. Just so you get a sense of God moving and at work. So, God has sent a wave. We just want to ride the wave that he's sent and get better at riding, surfing, if you like. And we just want to keep and ask the church to keep praying that God would keep us on the right track, close to him, coming back to him. And we only have one desire, and that is to honour God and glorify his name. And that's what we're about.
Thanks so much for your time, Pastor Mark.
Pleasure.
That's really helpful, and I'm sure that will really benefit those people watching this at home or on their phones or on their way into work or wherever they end up watching this. But church family, it's an exciting time. Let's be praying. Let's be expectant to see God continue to bring more growth to our church over the coming weeks, months, and years.